Hi everyone, welcome to the new series of stock market videos. Today we are going to discuss about buyback of shares. What is a buyback of shares? Why does a company buy back its shares? A stock market buyback refers to the situation when a company decides to buy back its own shares from its shareholders at a fair market value. In a stock buyback, a company reabsorbs a part of its ownership and rights and reduced the number of total shares in the market. A company can decide to buy back its shares from the open market, retail, institutional, or non institutional shareholders. One point to note here is that the buyback of equity shares cannot exceed 25% of the total paid up equity shares. Why would a company buy back its own shares? When a company believes it is undervalued, it buybacks its own shares. When the company believes that the shares are being traded at a cheaper price, it may announce a buyback. When a company does so, the number of outstanding shares decreases and there is a subtle buying pressure and a bullish sentiment that gets created. Next comes the improving financials section. A company performs a buyback when it wants to make its fundamental financial figures seem good. By reducing the number of shares in the market, the company's earning per share, that is EPS, return on assets ROA, and return on equity ROE see a positive impact because of the buyback. Earning per share or EPS. The formula for EPS calculation is net income minus dividends by average outstanding shares. When the number of outstanding shares reduces, the EPS will obviously increase. Next comes the return on assets or ROE. It is calculated by dividing the net income by the number of assets. In a buyback, the company's share capital or the portion of company's equity that is listed is counted as an asset of the company. When the share capital reduces, so do the company's total assets. This increases the return on assets of the company. Next comes return on equity. It is calculated by dividing the net income by the shareholders' equity. A buyback obviously decreases the shareholders' equity, thereby increasing the return on equity. When a company has too much cash lying idle and not many projects to invest in, it may opt for buying back of shares. This excess cash is given back to its investors. When a company buybacks its shares, it reabsorbs and retains its ownership of the company. This may give a company more control over the decisions. Sometimes companies may not want hostile takeovers from unwanted companies. To ensure that a hostile takeover doesn't happen, companies often tend to announce buyback.